welcome to Wedding Secrets with me, Claire. Get ready for a very true and very funny video because we've all seen them before, especially if we go and have a look on YouTube. It is Flower Girl bloopers. Yes, it happens all around the world. You've got your big day, you've been rehearsing, you've been practicing, you are ready. And your flower girl, she's just not too happy on the day. And all types of things can go wrong. You must have seen those videos of terrible weather conditions blowing the flower girls down, flower girls taking decorations down with them along the way, flower girls eating the petals, flower girls having a meltdown on the aisle. If not, go and have a little look at YouTube, because although it can be a disaster, it does put a smile on your face, because we all know what working with children can be like. So welcome to our Wedding Secrets video. Now, Wedding Secrets, we have been to quite a large selection of weddings. We have seen in real life some of these moments happen before. We've seen all types of things that can go wrong at weddings. So what we're doing is we are sharing our expert knowledge with you to help you avoid some of these bloopers and some of these mishaps, to give you some of our expert industry knowledge to help your day run as smooth as possible. So how is today's video going to work? I am going to be sharing with you top 5 common problems that happen with flower girls and how to avoid them. So have a sit down. Hopefully this won't happen for your flower girl, but in case it does, you are all ready for the big day. So let's start. Number 1, yep, you guessed it, crying. Now, many guests at a wedding, of course, get quite upset, but these are usually tears of happiness. However, for a flower girl, it's not always tears of happiness. Crying is a normal thing. Do not forget, these are children. They don't understand the importance of that moment. So if they are a little bit tired, they are a little bit grumpy, you probably are gonna get tears. Chat with the parents. Schedule a nap time before you're gonna be walking down the aisle. Try and make them so they're as ready and as refreshed as possible, which does not always happen, but if it can be added into the schedule of the day, brilliant. You've got to remember, your flower girl is about to step in front of a lot of people in a lot of space, and it can be overwhelming. It can be really daunting. So prep them beforehand. Really tell them that there's going to be a lot of people. Practice with them, rehearse with them, get them as comfortable as you possibly can up until the day. And do you know, I promise you that little bit of extra prep, that little bit of extra time will of course help within the day itself. But above all else, I'm afraid when it comes to crying, it's something that can't always be avoided. So perhaps a last minute change to your day is needed. So if the flower girl is planning on walking on her own, but perhaps nerves or tiredness cause her to cry, change it up. Have a bridesmaid step in with her and walk down the aisle. Move things around, be flexible, especially when working with children. Now, number 2, misbehavior. There is no room for misbehavior. Now, again, this does come to selecting your flower girls. If you know your flower girl has a tendency to play up, have a few paddies, perhaps she's not right for the role. Try your best to bear that in mind. Another alternative that we can say, and it's just an idea, in case they are misbehaving, you need to redirect that attention. So just an idea we've seen before, we actually had a child who was misbehaving right before the ceremony, the procession was going to start. So instead of the petals, we swapped it and we gave her a little wind-up camera, which was on one of the tables. And we said to the flower girl, right, walk up the aisle and take as many pictures as you can. So again, it's about being flexible. It's about working with the child. And because we had misdirected, we had changed the direction of her frustration, it was brilliant and it worked really nicely. And she actually made it all the way up the aisle because she had a different thing to think about, which is key. Now, number 3, fidgeting. Fidgeting, this is where you can really pre-plan for fidgeting. We do have a video about this, but I will touch on this briefly. The dress. Look at the material, put your hand inside the material, feel it. Is it scratchy? Is it itchy? Is it irritating? Go for a softer material. When it comes to tights, again, maybe try a woolen, a softer, a more expensive material so she's not itching. Go for shoes that are not uncomfortable, a soft ballet shoe. With her hair, don't have something that is restrictive and tight and painful for a child. Keep it as simple as possible. The more simple, the more comfortable, the less fidgeting she will do. Now, number 4, boredom, which is a big, big part, unfortunately. Do not forget, these are children that are going to be sat through a very long ceremony. Come up with creative ways to keep them occupied. Wherever they're going to be sat in the ceremony, have a little colour book ready for them. So it's a silent activity, something that they can be doing, keeps them focused, keeps their attention, and I promise you, little touches like this, even a little snack for them, it was just going to make your day run as smooth as possible. Now, finally, number 5, point blank refusal. Sometimes, as a couple, when you're getting ready for your wedding, as a parent, you can do everything you have possibly thought of to ensure your day is going to run smooth. And the truth of it is, sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes you have to accept on that day, on that moment, that child is not going to want to play ball. They're going to refuse. They're not going to want to be part of it. And there is sometimes a moment you have to accept. There is nothing that you can do about it. If a child is too uncomfortable, then you're just gonna have to accept it. It doesn't always work out. So they always say, don't work with children, don't work with animals. But in terms of a wedding, what we have to understand as adults is to be flexible. If on the day the child is just too uncomfortable to do the role, we have to accept this. Make changes. So for example, explain to a child that's absolutely fine, have them sit through the ceremony, and then perhaps make them feel a little bit special later on during the day. Maybe ask them to spread the petals for the wedding photography. Maybe ask them to wave their wand on the grand entrance into your reception. And sometimes it can be heartbreaking when we've laid out all of these extravagant plans. But sometimes it's just for the best. If the child is too uncomfortable, rearrange, change your plans, change your entrance. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that you're happy and all your guests are happy. So I hope some of these pre-disasters are going to help you on your big day. Have a look at some of our other videos. We've got a really nice video as well about ideas to gift a flower girl and handmade gifts too, which is just incredible. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. In the meantime, best of luck planning your big day, and we'll see you on our next video.